Hi, welcome back to my next video. In this video, we're going to be talking about writing the action for a scene. Now, we've already written the slug line. I'm choosing this one, exterior playground day, so it's going to be a scene that takes place outside on a playground during the day. You can choose whatever scene you want for your script, obviously. I'm just going to use this setting as an example. This is just a sample or an example, I should say. I don't have a synopsis or log line written, so I don't know exactly what my scene is going to be. I'm just going to make one up to show you how it's done. Normally you wouldn't do it this way. You would just have a synopsis to refer to, but I don't in this case. Alright, exterior playground day. So let's say the sun shines down over the playground. Okay, this is the very first scene of the movie, so we want to have something intimate, to really make it look good. Okay, the sun shines down over the playground. Now let's say a kid, Marcus, 8, kicks a soccer ball over a field goal. Okay, now let's look at this sentence. A kid, Marcus. Now notice what I did here. I described, who it was, a kid, and then I put Marcus in capital letters, and then I put 8. What this means is, this is the name of the character, and this is his age, 8 years old. Kicks a soccer ball over a field goal. Anytime you introduce a new character, you have to write it kind of like this. If he's a kid, or let's say he's an adult, or let's say he's a teenager. A teenager, and then you say who he is. What's the name of the teenager? The teenager is Marcus Smith. Let's say we put his last name, Marcus Smith, in capital letters. Everything's capital letters for the name, Marcus Smith, and then his age is 15. Let's say. Okay, the sun shines down over the playground. A teenager, Marcus Smith, that's the name of the character, 15 years old, kicks a soccer ball over a field goal. That's how you introduce a character, a new character. Now, any other time after that, when you refer to that character, you don't have to type in Marcus Smith in capital letters. You can just say, Marcus walks over to the ball. You can just write the first name with basic capital, or the first letter capitalized and then lowercase for the rest of the name. That's fine after you initially introduce them. A teenager, Marcus Smith, capital letters, 15 years old. Now we know, we have an idea of what he looks like, or who he is, what his age is, what gender he is. We can tell by Marcus. Or we can say a teenage boy if we really want to specify the gender. A teenage boy, Marcus Smith, 15 years old, kicks a soccer ball over a field goal, and then we just put his first name. Marcus walks over to the ball, so we don't have to introduce him again like that. We just say Marcus. Walks over to the ball. He kicks it again. I don't know. Let's just create a wacky scene. Alright, he kicks it again. Now we could try to introduce another character. Normally, you don't want too many lines like this. We could keep going. We could write a whole half a page here, and it wouldn't look right if we just keep describing actions that are going on in the scene. You basically have to separate these little paragraphs here anytime something new is happening. Well, for example, let's say, okay, he kicks it again. Let me think of something. Marcus walks over the ball. He kicks it again. The soccer coach Now we're introducing a new character, so we'll say the soccer coach, Mr. Phillips. I mean, you can put his first name. It depends if anyone's going to refer to him by his first name. You don't really have to. I'm just going to put Mr. Phillips because he's going to be the teacher in this scenario. So Mr. Phillips, 58, let's say, approaches, or let's say soccer coach 58, Mr. Phillips 58, gets out of his car. He sees Marcus on the over on the playground. He walks towards Marcus. Or we can just say, he sees Marcus over on the playground and walks towards him. That's a better way to say it. And then we'll get to the dialogue in the next video. I just want to show you the action in this video. Now I want to touch upon something here, and it's very important. A lot of amateur screenwriters, when they write the action, they tend to use the passive voice in their writing. Now, passive voice is basically something like this. If I was going to say the sun shines down over the playground, that's active voice. But passive voice would be something like the sun is shining down over the playground. The sun is shining down over the playground. That is passive. And you don't want to write passive language in a screenplay. I mean, not always. There's some situations where you do have to, like if you're describing something that already exists, like, let's say, the garbage, or garbage is all over the ground. Now, this is just saying that the garbage is already on the ground. It's not saying that someone spilt it. It's just saying there's garbage all over the ground. So that's okay. But when you say the sun is shining down over the playground, no, that's not good. You want to say the sun shines down. That's active voice. You want active. The sun shines down over the playground. A teenage boy kicks a soccer ball. Notice that we're not saying he is kicking the soccer ball. We're saying he kicks the soccer ball. That's what we want. We want to write it like the action is actually happening as we're writing it. We don't want to say, he is kicking or he kicked. That's even worse. Never use past tense. Like, let's say a teenage boy kicked a soccer ball over a field goal. This is not good. You don't want to say kicked. That's past tense. And that's a no-no. You have to use a present tense active voice. Kicks a soccer ball. Now, yeah, that's where a lot of people make mistakes, especially if they're used to writing novels, because when you write a novel, you generally write in past tense. You use ed on a lot of words, on a lot of your verbs. Kicked, ran, walked, all past tense. You don't want to use past tense in a screenplay, but in a novel you do it because a novel is telling a story. A novel isn't happening in real time. Anytime you read a book, it's just telling you a story, so everything that it's telling you already happened. That's why you use past tense when you write a novel or a book. But when you're writing a screenplay, it's different. You're not telling a story. You're writing what is happening in the movie, basically, or what is going to happen in the movie. So when the director reads this, the filmmakers, when they read this, they don't want to read about what's already happened. They want to read what is happening in this scene at this exact moment. So what is happening in this scene with the playground? It's the sun shines down over the playground. That is what's happening. It's not is shining down. It shines down. Active voice. A teenage boy, Marcus Smith, 15, kicks a soccer ball over a field goal. That's what's happening. He kicks the soccer ball over the field goal. And then Marcus walks over. It's not Marcus is walking over. You don't want to say that. You want to say Marcus walks over to the ball. He kicks it again. Simple active language. That's what you want to use in your action sentences. Okay, and like I said, you want to space this out. Like if I put this here, you could get away with this. Like a lot of producers and film critics, they would have, or a lot of readers, I should say, they have different opinions about how big these paragraphs should be. Like, obviously, you just wouldn't want to have a whole page like this without any breaks. I tend to like to do 3 or 4 lines before a break, or when there's a really sudden change in the action. Like, for example, sun shines down over the playground, and then we go to Marcus. He kicks the soccer ball. So all this involves the sun and Marcus. And then down here we have a new person coming into the same scene. So that's a perfect time to create a new paragraph when you have a new person. The soccer coach, Mr. Phillips, gets out of his car. See, this is happening in a different area in the same location. You know, this is all in the playground, but Mr. Phillips is getting out of his car somewhere else on the playground. But we want to separate this to indicate that it's somewhere else in the same scene with a different character. And then obviously he's approaching Marcus as he walks toward him. Garbage is all over the ground. That's okay to say it like that because it already exists. And then, of course, let's say, Mr. Phillips. Now, again, we've already introduced him here in all capitals, so we can just use lowercase for these letters. Mr. Phillips approaches Marcus. And then in the next video, we will get into the dialogue and what he'll say to Marcus.